Would you give a man hiding a big lie a second chance?
That's exactly what a woman named Kay had to decide on today's episode of Dating Disasters. A story so wild, we have to do it in 2 parts.
I was 28 years old, and I was just getting out of a divorce. I had a 4-year-old son and a 2-year-old daughter, and I had been the housewife. My husband was an alcoholic, and I made the decision to leave my marriage. I chose to go onto a religious website to meet a new man immediately following my divorce. I figured if I dated a religious person, I wouldn't have the same issues that I had in my marriage. I figured if I dated a religious person, this person would be morally right, but I was wrong.
When leaving a traumatic relationship, it can be easy to want to jump into another situation too quick.
Anybody can say they're religious, but who they are behind closed doors can be a very different thing. I met a man who was older, almost 40 years old, and he was from another country, and he said all of the right things to me. He listened to me. He told me that he loved me. He said that I was the woman he always wanted. He said that I passed his test for a life partner. But things changed once I packed up and moved across state lines to be with him in Texas. This man took me to his religious community to introduce me to his friends. And he set up a type of engagement party where I signed some documents. And he said to me, "This is to let you know that I'm serious about us being together and I really do care about you." After I had signed these documents and we had celebrated our engagement, he pulled me aside and said to me that he had something to reveal. He said, "I'm sorry. I lied to you about my name and my immigration status. I didn't mean to do this to you. I really do care about you, but I truly need you to help me."
Dating apps can be a hotbed for people seeking marriage for citizenship. They leverage emotional manipulation, catfishing, and long grooming, shifting intent from romance to legal convenience.
Will you please help me? I have kids to take care of back in my country. I was mad. I couldn't believe this person did this to me. That he lied about his name, his immigration status. He lied about why he was even in this country. And I felt truly stuck because I didn't have a way to leave. I wasn't working. I had to put my son into kindergarten. I still had to pay for daycare for my daughter, and I was looking for work. And I'm sitting here like, how could you do this to me? And he said, "No, I'm going to help you. We're going to be a family. If you would just please help me, I promise to help you." And I believed him. And so we decided to stay together. But things continued to change.
When someone shows you who they are, believe it. Let's see where this goes.
He started picking on me about my weight, and he made me feel like my body type wasn't what he truly wanted. He began to pick on me about my eating. He began to pick on me about everything. And he started to make me feel insecure. If I tried to complain about how he was treating me, he would gaslight me to make me think it was all in my head. And then he started talking to other women. And I brought up this issue with him and I let him know that I really don't want to be in a relationship like this. And he apologized and said, "Okay, I'll stop. And let's work on being a family together because I have to fix my immigration papers. And I promise I will take care of you. And I'm sorry about everything that I've been doing." So he had us go out and do things together as a family, and he had us take pictures together. But then he started pressuring me to get pregnant. And we were using family planning at the time, and I continued to use it. But I ended up getting pregnant anyway. And I thought he would be happy because he kept saying, we're going to stay together and I really do want to marry you. I really do want to be there for you. But things changed again. And he said, you cannot keep this baby. I'm having a serious issue with my immigration status right now, and I have to quit my job. So I'm not going to be able to buy food. I'm not going to be able to do anything. And I'm going to need you to look for work at this point, and I'm going to need you to terminate this pregnancy. And I'm like, what? I can't terminate the pregnancy. I'm already a month in. He's like, no, this is happening. I will pay the $400 to have you take care of this. I will take you to the clinic, but you're not going to have this child.
I can't even imagine the emotional roller coaster Kay is going through.
And he continued to pressure me, not giving me any options at this point. And I was still looking for work, but I didn't feel like I had a means to escape. And he took me to the abortion clinic and paid for the procedure to have the pregnancy terminated. He allowed me to rest at home, and then he let me know that he had a female friend that could take care of my daughter for me, and he would handle everything else, but it was now time for me to go to work because he could no longer work in this country. So I took care of everything financially. I paid for the apartment. I paid for the food. I even paid his female friend to watch my daughter. And he gathered all the photos that we had, and he went ahead and made the appointment for immigration. And I went to his immigration meeting with him, and he kept he kept letting me know that he really did want us to be together, and everything is going to work out. He's going to support me and my kids. So we go to this immigration meeting. But he doesn't let me know what's happening with his status. He's still keeping that a secret. So next thing I know, he tells me that he has a job. He says, I'm a very important person in my country. I was educated overseas in the Holy Land, and I've been hired to be a pastor for this religious community about 2 hours away. He says, I need you to quit your job.
This poor woman. The amount of lies, backpedaling, and gaslighting from this guy are enough to drive anyone crazy.
And I'm like, what? He's like, no, quit your job. I'll take care of everything. We're moving. So I'm sitting here like, okay. I'm believing him that he's going to take care of us. So I quit my job, which was a security guard at the time. And I relocate with this man to this religious community where he becomes a religious leader for a large group of people. And I'm sitting here freaking out thinking, okay, this is what's happening. And we were given a place to stay. We were given a townhouse. We were given furniture. It's like everything was prepared for us. But this man changed again. All of a sudden, he's like, listen, I have to take care of my immigration papers. Plus, I have people back home. I cannot buy food.
What is wrong with this guy?
He knew I was receiving child support and that I had planned to pay for my daughter to go to daycare so I could look for money in this new location. And I could also be able to put my son in school as well. This would cover school fees and lunch and everything. And he's like, no, I can't buy food anymore. So I'm sitting here having to use the child support money to buy food instead of putting my daughter in daycare. And I end up not having enough money to do anything. And then he's still pressuring me. He's like, listen, I need you to get pregnant. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. So we start fighting about this. And that summer, something weird happens.
I can't believe how much happened in this story, and it's only part one. Yet another reason why researching your dates is critical. Come join me for the second half. Hey everyone, we want to thank you for following and subscribing to Cheating Disasters. If you have your own story to share, we'd love to hear it. Send us a comment and we'll get back to you. Bye.